Hello. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me today.
Yeah, no problem. It's so nice to talk to you.
So, congratulations on season two, first of all. I know fans have been waiting and are very excited. So, let's kick it off with what are you most excited for fans to see this season?
Ooh, what am I most excited for? There's so much I'm excited for everybody to see. I think besides Angela's kind of transformation, there's kind of you get to see a different side of Angela, which I'm really excited for everybody to see. I feel like Angela was very she was quite mean and angry in the first season.
A little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. This season you get to see her be kind of more of a team player, which is really nice. Reluctantly, but she's definitely a team player. Um, I besides that, I think I'm excited for everybody to see all the fun new characters that we got to bring in. Um, I got to have a lot of fun scenes with a lot of those new characters, so that's just really fun. Yeah, I'm just excited for everybody to get to see more.
Yeah, I was going to ask, what was the vibe like on set, bringing in, because I'm sure you guys kind of formed like a family, right? First season. So then bringing in all like the angels and stuff, what was that kind of like?
Oh, I always love that. I mean, working with everybody like like the series regulars and stuff is always really great. It's always a fun time. We always kind of goof off a lot of a lot of the time. There's a lot of like, guys, focus happening. Um, but I really enjoy working with guest stars. It's one of my favorite things. They always just come in with such an energy, like they're just so ready to go. They always have like their lines down. They know exactly what they want to do for their characters. And then also for a lot of the comedic stuff, they have like different comedic energy and different comedic timing that I'm not used to. So it's always a blast when I get to work with them because they really do crack me up, and I don't know what they're gonna say or how they're gonna say it. So it's a lot of fun. Like it really is like playing. Like you really get to play when the guest stars are on. So that was really fun, and I got to do a lot of scenes with them. So that was really great.
Yeah. This season it does feel like things get a little bit more darker. It's a little more emotional. There's a lot more happening. Still has the comedy and the fun, I think, of the first season. We got 5 episodes, so I've only seen five, but it's definitely a little darker. So when you got the scripts, was there something you were like most excited to kind of dive into or to film?
Yeah, I mean, I've always been someone that I love horror and I love suspense and thriller and stuff. And so a lot of the time with these shows, they'll be like, yeah, it's going to be horror. And then I get it. And then they're like, comedy, like horror comedy. And then I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. So I was just really excited I really was excited to get to dig into this darker energy to this season. It was a lot of fun to get to experiment with Angela and get to kind of show a different side to her, which was a lot of fun. I think the first season you kind of got to see, you didn't really get introduced to Angela in a way. You kind of just saw her,
Yeah.
kind of like right in the middle of her doing all of her stuff. So you didn't really get to understand why she was the way that she was. And I think Angela, for the longest time, really spent time keeping everyone at a distance. And I think she learned to isolate herself and kind of keep herself separate from people. And she hasn't really been human in a really long time. And she's been able to really avoid those human emotions for a really long time. And this season, she gets thrown a huge loop by angels coming down,
Yeah.
which in our world, ironically, which is kind of funny because it's vampires, but like it's always something like you've heard of the angels, but they were kind of like a lore, like you didn't know if they were real or not.
Mhm.
And then all of a sudden the angels come down and she's like, what the heck? There's angels?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Like it really throws her for a loop. And then on top of that, they're like, oh yeah, there's angels and we're going to kill you in 30 days. So she's like, what? Like, like it really just throws her for a loop. And she's someone that thrives on control. And all of a sudden, she doesn't have her mansion anymore. She doesn't have her job anymore. And now there's flipping angels.
Yeah, it's like just when you thought things couldn't, get any worse, they're like, by the way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. The universe just took a giant turn on her life. And she was like, great, love it.
One of my favorite things about her though is her outfits. I feel like she is always just ooh, the fashion there. She's fantastic.
Yes,
I've got to know, what is it like for you kind of putting on? Does it really put you in character?
definitely. Yes. I it's always I'm one of those people where I'm not fully engaged into the character until I've gotten into the outfits. And
Mhm.
sometimes even like the sets will really bring it out. I like to walk around the set and kind of own the space a little bit. Like how would the character own the space? But definitely I love these outfits. And the team is really great in the sense that they let me have a lot of input.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, which is really fun. And like they really had like an idea of what it was that they wanted, but then I could go in there and throw in ideas and they would be like, yeah, 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 like we'll grab that and see if it works. And so like a lot of people are always like, oh, those darn corsets. And it's like, no, like I asked for the corsets. I wanted the corsets. I
Yeah.
thought that was something that Angela would really enjoy, but also they helped put me in character. Like as soon as I have the corset on, I feel regal. I mean, maybe it's because I can't like slouch in it, which
Right,
is
you
one of
have
the,
to.
yeah, like it has to be like chest up, shoulders back type of thing. And especially the first season, Angela had such wide set, like deep, wide set furniture that whenever I try to get up from it, it was one of those things you want to be like, huh, like, like, which isn't exactly like elegant. And so the corsets really made me like work on my legs. Like it really was like a squat. Like I had to like just lift myself up, especially in like 2-inch heels, as you know what I mean? Like
Oh,
big heels as well added. So it really added to the character. And yeah, so I just loved it. And her jewelry. And this year we have like different hair, which I love.
oh,
Yeah,
I love it.
all of it. Oh,
Awesome.
it's amazing.
And then I want to ask you a fun question. So I'm going to ask everybody this because there's a lot of vampire stuff going on right now. We had Abigail just come out in theaters. Now we've got this. Do you have like a favorite vampire story or book or movie?
Yes. I mean, this one's so hard because I've always been a vampire girl since I was younger. I love just the whole vampire lore. I love Anne Rice vampires. I love the kind of more like demonic vampires, like from Priest. I was even a Twilight fan, that was less of like the vampire lore and just more of like the romantic thing.
Yeah.
As like a little tween, teeny bopper. I was like, this is so romantic.
Yeah.
Um, but I would definitely say, and I say this all the time, I can't help it though, Aaliyah's Akasha.
Mhm.
I just remember when that movie came out, Queen of the Damned. Say what you want to say about the movie, but Aaliyah, my goodness, I was hypnotized. I was like, oh, who is this? The way that she moved. Like, I'm not a dancer like her, but like, I just, I kind of tried to pull a little bit of Akasha, but those costumes looked amazing on her. That like kind of like greenish glow that they gave her, the way that she just kind of like moved like I don't even know. She moved like water. It was
Yeah.
crazy.
Mhm.
Yeah, I loved that. But I do remember, besides Akasha, I do remember the first time I saw Let Me In.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was really cool. I
That's
was
a good.
really,
There's so many good vampire. It's like because I asked the Abigail cast this too, and there's so many things I'm reminded of that I'm like, oh my gosh, like yes.
yeah, there's so many of them. Our Only Lovers Left Alive,
Oh, I don't know that one.
Tilda Swinton.
Okay, I'm gonna look that one up. I'm writing that one
Yeah, that
down.
one's a fun one.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. And again, congratulations on season 2. Very excited. And I know people are
Thank
very
you.
excited for it. So thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
your time.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It was so nice talking to you.
Thank you so much for taking the time today. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you too. Thanks for being here.
Of course. So I know people have been waiting for season 2. Congratulations, by the way, on it.
Yay! I'm excited.
So I'd love to know what it is that you're most excited for fans to see this upcoming season.
Ooh, okay. Because there's a lot going on. So I'm
There's
gonna
a
think.
lot going on.
Yeah, yeah. I'm really excited for people to see Claire's growth this season, played by Tylee Roberge. She gets the finger lightning going, it's so
Mhm.
cool. And she's, oh my gosh, and she's got such an amazing few episodes and one really big one. And she kills it. I'm so proud of her Yeah, I feel like I'm her big sister or her mom or something. I'm always just like, baby, you're so good. You're a star. You're a star. But she's so great. And then, yeah, there's some new characters too that are going to be so cool to see. Max and Garfield playing like Bilestro and the slushy guy.
Well,
Yeah.
I was gonna say it's exciting to have new characters come in, and I feel like you guys probably must have formed a family with the first season because you can just see the chemistry on screen. But I'm curious what it was like having these newcomers come onto set. Like how much fun and difference and challenges maybe did that bring?
Oh man, it's just so fun. It's just so fun because, as an actor, you're so happy to be at work because we all love our job. It's just
Mhm.
so you see a new person, it's almost like the first day of school and they're like probably a little nervous, and we're all like, hey, buddy, like get in here, and it's such a good vibe on set. Like, and I think that's what you see in the chemistry is just like we're all just having fun and we love each other and the script is fun and we get to do so much adventures this season that I'm so
Yeah.
stoked for. And yeah, it was really cool to have some, I want to say like fresh blood, but
I like that.
they're if they're angels is or do they have blood? Like I don't know, we're gonna get so meta here, but yeah.
No, that's a great way to put it. Fresh blood. I love that. So I got the first 5 episodes, which I was able to see. I'm dying for more, but I'd love to know for you when you got the scripts, was there something you were most excited to film, to shoot?
For sure.
For,
Yeah.
yeah.
And it was the sword, the stuff with
Yeah.
the sword. Oh God. I would have that see they had sword safety on set, right? So I wasn't allowed to just like have it all the time,
Fair.
which I
That
would have
makes
loved.
sense.
I
Yeah.
would have hurt someone. We all know. It wouldn't have been on purpose. It would have happened though. So it's good. But when I did get it, oh my gosh, it's so fun to hold. And like, I just started, oh, I felt like it became part of me. Yeah, that was hard to give up. That was hard to give up.
How much choreography was involved in that? Like, did they have to like, how do you hold it certain ways, certain?
Yeah, like we kind of they left it up to me a little bit, a lot, mostly. They were like, here's a sword. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I watched a few videos like on YouTube. I can't even remember what they were anymore. Maybe just like because there's stage combat, there's elements to safety that we have to obviously involve. So I think on the days that we were shooting and I did have it, it was like, we all had to stand quiet at a distance, of course. And yeah, it did come down to some really like specific movements so we could sell it for camera, but that was still safe to play. So on those, like in those, I can't talk too much about the choreography without spoiling everything. But but yeah, you have to be very careful. It's a whole weapon.
Yeah, yeah. I
Real
love it.
weapon.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
so great. So obviously this is based on books. I'm curious if you've read the books at all. Have you dabbled in it, or did you kind of just want to make this your own thing and not be influenced by them?
Sarah wasn't in the books.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Nikki was in the books and played by Kristen Park, who's phenomenal.
Hmm.
Um, but a lot of us weren't in the original books, and so it's like but I've met Johnny and I think yeah, he's come to set like as, consultant to meet people sometimes, I think. And yeah, so we're kind of winging it with Sarah for sure. Um, but I guess that's a Harley Payton original, Sarah. Yeah.
I love it though. That's so fun. So it kind of gives you more freedom, I feel like, too, and you don't kind of feel the pressure of like, trying to match the books for your
Yeah,
character.
I mean, that's such a good point. Like there's totally two ways about it. Like, and like I think it could be really fun to try to like totally specifically get into someone else's character that already exists. But then it's also super fun too. I just love this job. I'm like, I want to do all of it. But yeah, it's fun to develop a character, like Sarah, because I think on the page, and everyone would read it differently. Like, you would read it differently, I would read it
Mhm.
differently. And so I do get to bring a lot of like my own weird quirks too,
Yeah.
which is fun for me. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that so much. So I love that vampires are like, there's so much lore around vampires, you know what I mean?
Yes.
And especially recently, like we just had the Abigail movie, and now we have this month as well. And so, do you have a favorite vampire lore, like maybe a movie or a book or a story?
Oh my gosh, I am a huge Buffy fan. That is how I know vampires like really well. I also watched True Blood, not all of it, but Buffy, my like kind of my older sister. She's not really my sister, but I call her my sister. Growing up, she was like she had an angel statue. She had the comic books. Like she was obsessed. She was like nerdy about it. But then I obviously fell in love with it because I got to see every time I was over there, she would have it on, we'd be watching it. And I've seen Buffy, like, I don't even know how many times, like, probably 30 times at least, the whole series. Like,
Yeah.
I just, we also, I know I've talked to like Harley, our creator, about Buffy before. We love Buffy. Like, everyone, I think all sci-fi fans love Buffy, don't they? It's like a Firefly,
Yeah.
you
This
know?
does kind of feel like it has a Buffy-esque because it's got the like comedy and that mixed in with like the emotional and the darkness too. So that's actually a really
Totally.
good comparison, I feel like.
That's a really big compliment. Thank
Of course, of
you.
course. Well, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. And again, congratulations
Thank,
on season 2. So
thanks so much. Thanks for your questions. That was
yeah,
fun.
thank you. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me today.
Thank you for taking your time as well.
Of course, congratulations on season 2. Very exciting. I got to see 5 episodes, and I'm very excited for more. But I'd love to know from you what you are most excited for fans to see this season.
Ooh, starting with the good ones. I think we have so many new and exciting characters to unlock in season 2, and I'm even excited, and I was there, but I'm ready to watch it just like the audience and dive back into the universe again. I'm excited. It's going to be a lot of fun. We still have all the great energy that the characters from season 1 brought to it. We just have more now, and a lot of new exciting twists and turns and people to discover.
Yeah, I feel like this season gets a little, it still's the comedy and stuff, but it does feel a little darker, a little more emotional. Like there's a lot kind of, I mean, the angels are showing up and it's kind of messing with your vibe. Like, so they're not there with the best intentions for you guys. Let's put it that way.
Indeed.
Yeah. So what was it like, because you have this family I'm sure you created with season 1, and then to bring in these other characters, kind of what was that like? Were there any challenges on set or was it more fun?
It's a lot of fun, because it's kind of like we've, like you said, kind of created a friendship, a group, and now the enemies come into our plate. But no, on set we're all friends. But it's nice to see the new characters and see how they kind of fit in with us all, and it's fun. What I love about Reginald the Vampire is it's not just a drama, it's not just comedy, it's not just horror. We get a little bit of everything. So
Yeah.
to kind of be on set, whether it's your scene or not, and just soak it in and see what the other actors are able to do, and their range is awesome, because you really get to play with range in our show, which I find really interesting. Keeps things, dynamic.
Yeah, absolutely. Is that kind of what drew you to the role in the first place?
Yeah, indeed. I had never really gotten the opportunity to play someone who had been centuries old before. So I was instantly kind of like, oh, cool. Like, I can kind of carry on swag from my granddad and,
Yeah.
like say stuff he would tell me, and just, all kind of stuff, but still be myself and bring me to it. So I think it's definitely provided a interesting opportunity to just flood Maurice with all kind of voices from past generations, and even the gold tooth idea. I was just doing the self tape, and I was like, I think I would just put this in and just do one like this, and they loved it, and just be able to have a collaborative effort, and yeah, it's nice. It's nice, a lot of fun. I think we have a great crew, a great cast, and the writers, the producers, everybody. It's like it's not one person's baby. We all, it takes a village, and we're trying to make a good baby.
Well, I always feel like you're so like fashionable in this too. Like you talk about the gold teeth, but like the outfits and everything, does that really help you get into character?
Yeah, no, definitely. Once I pop that tooth in, I'm Maurice. Um, but yeah, it's a lot of fun. I find the outfits I'm wearing, and what's cool about that is we kind of, when we go up to Canada to film, we have a bit of time before we film. It's like pre-production where you meet with the wardrobe and you get to kind of craft your character a bit. And it's nice to see like, oh, like he's a darker, moodier man. Like I want to be in a darker colors, and just all from every aspect, kind of collaborating with the professionals and seeing what we come up with is tons of fun.
Oh, I love that because it's gonna help you relate to your character more too. You know what I mean?
Tons. Yeah. Even I love that you asked that question. Like, I don't know if people notice, but Maurice wears a lot of like floor shine boots.
Mm-hmm.
I was talking with Jeremiah. I'm like, what were you wearing in the 70s? Like, what was like, come on, the Austin Power boot. Like, I'm like, that's doing the Austin Power boot. So like everything like that, we care about the details, and yeah, it's fun.
Oh, I love it. And something I'm asking everybody, because we just had Abigail, come out this month, and now we have this. So there's a lot of vampire stuff going around. Do you have a favorite vampire like movie or story or book?
I think,
besides this, of course, you can't pick it.
Yeah, but outside, that's kind of what's so interesting to me about it. And it's like all kind of cultures kind of allude to the idea of a vampire. Mm-hmm. All kind of cultures kind of talk about dragons or mermaids, and just wondering what part of it is maybe true at some point, and where's the fiction coming in, and then with this project creating our own mythology, so I think that's really cool. Yeah, what vampire, there's so many cool vampires.
There's so many.
Yeah. I enjoyed I also have been enjoying Interview with the Vampire.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think that's done well. Kind of giving a new twist to what vampire means, similar to Reginald, where I don't know, I'm so tired of like the same story over and over again. I love that Reginald isn't per se like a sequel to something that we've already seen, and it has the source material, the books, but even with that, I've read the books. I'm like, well, Johnny wrote that I'm the oldest vampire, and then Jeremiah wrote that I'm not. So even like how that works, we're all kind of like playing around with it, and creating the mythology is really fun.
Yeah, and I love to hear it's so collaborative. Like that makes me so happy to hear, because I have said this already in the previous interviews, but like you guys have such a great chemistry on screen that it really, like, I feel like I'm not part of the gang, but like I feel like I'm in it, you know what I mean? And I'm like, I love this. Like I care about you guys. So thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for talking with me. Yeah, you had great questions.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. And I'm hoping for more. So
yeah, fingers crossed.
Yeah, you'd come back, right? Time and time again. Perfect. Awesome. Thank you so much for your time. You too. Thanks.